All right, hey, what's going on, movie lovers? Today, got Kyle back.
Hey,
feels like it's been a while.
it's been a little bit.
I don't know.
Yeah.
We had Josh, and I had Brian, and I guess I forgot about you for a while. I don't know.
It's cool though. I like doing or seeing different people on the show.
Yeah,
and hearing their thoughts and stuff on it too. I think that's fun and always interesting.
One of these days, we'll get like all of us together, and it'll be a blast.
Like a big round table.
Yeah,
like that would be fun for Avengers Infinity War. Even though that's kind of like against the spirit.
Right.
Oh, shut up! I like this, but it would be fun.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Something
and just
like one of those event movies.
Nerd out.
Yeah,
and it's got to be Infinity War.
Well, I mean,
Justice League 2. Oh wait. They canceled that.
We don't know anything. We
can guess.
We don't know. So we are Shut Up, I Like This podcast where we talk about how much we love movies and not. I say it differently every week, but I mean we don't shit on stuff. Like we enjoy watching stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's a movie and they're fun to watch. Have fun with it.
That's the idea.
So we are here today talking about a movie that I really like. Like, I always forget to bring it up, though.
No one talks about Wishmaster.
Exactly.
It's one of those films that time has forgotten a little bit. I mean, it's like when everyone talks about, hey, here's my top 15 horror movies of all time. Wishmaster is never in that list. And I don't know. I like the movie. Obviously, that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But I think it's fun. It's a fun, forgotten kind of 90s film.
Right off the bat, kind of the first thing I wrote was, I didn't realize that this was like 97? I could have sworn it was like
93?
90, 91, early 90s.
Yeah, I thought it was way earlier than what it was, too.
2 years before The Matrix. I was like, what?
This is a year after Scream.
Yes, this was the same year as two other films that we did. Face Off and Spawn.
Batman and Robin.
and then we had Wishmaster.
Yeah.
And 5 sequels. Which,
it's interesting when you talk about like 90s horror because there's some good stuff out there, but for whatever reason, because it wasn't Freddy or Jason, people don't talk about it at all. And then when Scream came out in 96 and sort of like changed the game away from the traditional like
slasher
monster movies, whatever.
Yeah, they are monsters.
And then it went towards I Know What You Did Last Summer and like that era.
Like the slasher. They're still slashers, but like
but they're not supernatural. Like Demon Freddy and Jason and supernatural powers and Michael Myers and
serial killer stuff.
Yeah.
What was the Jared Leto Urban Legend?
Yeah, Urban Legend, like that era.
Oh my god!
Wasn't there a My Bloody Valentine?
Oh yeah,
remake that came out.
Yeah. Well, there was a 3D one.
Yeah, no, not that one.
I don't remember the other one.
It's like Valentine's Day or something.
Okay.
Something stupid that came out.
Oh, I'm sure.
There was like an early 2000s horror film that no one remembers.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Because I can't remember the title.
Right.
What the fuck was the name of that?
But real quick before we like really get into it, do our first experience and stuff. We're trying out some new microphones. So hopefully, like the audio listeners will notice a difference.
Yeah, hopefully we don't sound like greasy shit.
Right. Because like I say it all the time. Like our Hellraiser episode was the best sounding podcast ever made. Like it was fantastic. And then we kind of we went to video. And I didn't want to have mics in our face.
It's a different format because when you do a podcast, you can sit
right there,
right next to it. And
I mean, like Joe Rogan, all those people do. But I wanted to have more like a fluid. It's not really like a talk. I mean, I almost want like that talk show format.
I totally.
I ideally I want me at my desk and I want you on a couch and I just want to sit here and rabble, but
yeah, that would be awesome.
This doesn't allow.
We also don't have the space of Joe Rogan to have, like,
exactly
big fucking like boom mics and shit that we can.
We will. We
Yeah.
will. And then, so I hope that sounds better for our audio listeners, and probably even if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sure it sounds better.
Hopefully.
And then the next thing is our movie trivia show that we're doing. We had a snowstorm in April.
Because Midwest.
So I had 2 more episodes that we're going to record, and then those got postponed. But it is going to be soon, very soon. So I'm really looking forward to that. I hope you guys are going to enjoy it, and I wanted to mention that before, because
I was cheating and I was reading some of the trivia.
You like it?
You've got some good stuff wrote down.
yeah,
I think that'll be fun. I think that people will enjoy that.
I'm really excited about it. So I'm terrible I'm horrible. I forget stuff all the time, and so I just wanted to get that out of the way real fast.
Awesome.
But are you ready to open up into Wishmaster, do some first experiences?
Yes, I am.
You want to go for it? I think you kind of told me already.
A little bit,
and
yeah.
So I'm actually really interested.
I've got an interesting one. There was a VHS tape that came out in, was it 99? I want to say. It was called, like, Boogeyman, The Killer Cut. And it was just scenes from a bunch of different horror films. And it had all the usual films on there. Halloween was on there, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Friday the 13th. All those were represented. But then it also had a bunch of unusual stuff that, like, you don't think of all the time.
Right.
Wishmaster was on there.
Yes.
The Ugly, which is that movie that I was sending you that I'm going to make you watch. And,
no, yeah, we are doing it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll talk about that one.
No, we are. We are. Because what did we say it was we're going to do next week?
Beyond Skyline.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, that's I bought it, but it's now streaming on Netflix.
Which is amazing,
so
because
that's
I haven't bought it, so when we get done recording, I'm going to watch Beyond Skyline. So I had this VHS tape, and I would watch it. I probably wore that tape out. I watched
it just had, like, clips on it?
It was a clip where it had a narrator, and then the narrator would just be like, I don't know, it would say, like, Jason Voorhees, Friday the 13th, and it would give you little pieces of trivia. Jason has killed X amount of people, and blah, 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 and Pamela Voorhees was his mother. And it would play a clip from a film, like, I don't know, like a 5-minute clip. And then it would go on, and then it would just do the next film. And so it was a great way to introduce people to films you had never seen before. And so the very first time I had ever heard of Wishmaster was from this tape. There was the clip. It was the clip where they're in the morgue, and he comes up on...
Right,
the guy comes up on him, and he's working on him, and he's, "You wish not to see this." And then he does the thing, and it glosses over on us. And that was the clip from this VCR tape.
Well, of course that's going to get you to watch it.
Of course I'm going to fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's interesting, because, I had wrote down, we'll get to this later on, of, like, I think there's, like, different tiers, like, tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 of, like, horror movie villains.
Yeah,
and so
we're definitely going to get into that.
And so when you think about it, like, Wishmaster is not top tier with Freddy or Jason, but he was presented in this tape with Freddy and Jason and Leatherface.
True that.
And so he was already an icon to me before I had ever even seen the film. So I'm going into this movie being like, I've got the respect for him of a Freddy or a Jason or a Michael Myers, because he was on this tape with the rest of them, so why not?
Tape of their peers.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. So
you sent me a clip of, like, I'm sorry, I already forgot. What's The
Ugly.
The Ugly.
Simon Cartwright from The Ugly.
So I started watching that clip on YouTube, and then it had, like, the rest of the clips. And so, like, I watched the Wishmaster clip, and I saw, like, exactly what you're talking about. And, I just got sucked into, like, a bunch of those clips. I feel like I watched the whole thing now. I sat there for half an hour watching them.
It was cool. I love that tape. And that was before 99. That was really before IMDb was a thing. And so where do you get trivia from shit like that?
Right.
Yeah, and so that was just...
Magazines.
Fangoria magazines or whatever. Like, that was really cool, and that was a big deal.
That's amazing. Wow. My first experience is nothing like that whatsoever.
I actually have a funny story.
Another one?
Really quick. I took that tape to school I think it was in like English class or something.
That's terrible.
And I played the clip from the Texas Chainsaw for some project.
What?
Yeah.
In school?
In school. In high school.
In school suspension?
No.
Oh my god. How'd you get away with that?
I had a cool English teacher. That's how.
I guess. Yeah, I wrote down, I honestly don't really remember sitting down and watching it the first time. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing it from Blockbuster. I remember it was on VHS before DVD. Mm-hmm. We walked down there. I think I got to pick out Hercules, the Disney movie.
Okay.
And my dad picked out Wishmaster. But of course, because I was with my dad for the weekend, I ended up watching Wishmaster as well.
Good call.
And so I sat there and just make sure everything's working. I sat there and watched Wishmaster and Hercules. And I can't really remember, though, like, exactly what I thought about it and all this, mm-hmm. but I remember my dad gave me, like, kind of like my starter box of DVDs when I turned 13 or whatever. And in the box of DVDs was the Wishmaster 1 and 2, like on the same DVD.
That's the disc that I watched it on.
Oh my god.
That's the one I have.
That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. And so I remember watching it then. And then I really remember because mm-hmm. a lot of that shit, we talked about this with like Hellraiser, with like the effects and like Frank. Like how he came to be. Mm-hmm. It's very similar to like when Wishmaster first comes into the to Josh and he like gains his muscle and everything back. Yeah. It's very similar to Hellraiser.
Robert Kurtzman.
And yes.
Came VFX.
Yes, yeah. Exactly. And I just remember like when he's like crawling towards him, because I have this really horrible phobia of like slow moving crawling things.
Ooh.
And it creeps me out. So, like, Frank, when he first starts
or like
crawling.
The girl from The Ring.
Yes, I
comes out of the TV
hate
set.
that. Just walk towards me like a normal fucking... Like Jason.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's just kind of sombers towards you. Fine, that's not creepy. It's fucking creepy when they're, like, half of a thing crawling at you. Leprechaun. He's not crawling, but he's still... it's just short things, I think.
You don't like short people.
Like, below knee level
gotcha.
Creeps me out. And, so that's, like, the biggest thing I remembered about it was the crawling and, like, it was kind of like Hellraiser with Frank, and I hate it. Yeah. I hate that shit. So, yeah, that's kind of, like, my recollection. Mm-hmm. I don't really have a cool story. Which sucks, but... What are you going to do? Can't remember everything.
Totally. I don't remember the first time I watched a lot of movies. It has to be a pretty particular movie to stand out for me to remember specifics. And this one, I know I can't tell you the first time I watched the movie start to finish, but because of that Boogeyman tape, like, this one sticks out in my mind for that reason. I'm curious, did you ever mistake this for a Wes Craven film?
Yes.
Because that was my first note. He was an executive producer for the longest time, probably longer than I should care to admit. I thought he directed.
I did too.
Wishmaster. I wonder how common of a mistake.
Yeah, it was Robert Kurtzman, right?
Robert Kurtzman, yeah, one of the K&B effects guys with Greg Nicotero and Howard Berger.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I guess I always remembered Wes Craven's name being all over the poster.
Exactly, yeah. Even at the beginning of the movie is a Wes Craven, I think I wrote, Wes Craven Presents.
Oh,
flashes across the screen.
See, that's how they get away with it. Wes Craven
Presents.
Yeah.
It's not a Wes Craven directed or anything. It's just, he was like an executive producer, and that was it.
Because he had those weird side projects that he came out with periodically. What was that one from the early 90s? Shocker?
Okay.
Shocker?
What? Shocker.
Yeah, you don't remember that one? That was the one with that was like his attempt to redo Nightmare on Elm Street. It was the prisoner.
Oh my gosh.
It was the prisoner that got put in the electric chair and then came back with.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, there's a reason why you don't remember that one.
That's hilarious.
So I don't know, and then I just always kind of thought that, like, oh, this is some weird side project that he did. But
right.
It was probably not until I actually sat down to do notes for this podcast that I realized he didn't actually direct or write the film. So I'm sorry, Robert Kurtzman.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I definitely thought the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a very common thing. I don't think anyone... Maybe it's just not that important. I don't think people care about Wishmaster enough to be like, oh, who directed that?
They should.
I mean, they should, yeah. But yeah, I don't think it's wide enough knowledge.
It's the power of marketing, though.
Yeah.
Where they can be like, oh, we can stick Wes Craven's name all over this shit. And
that's what I'm gonna
do. Will sell it.
I mean, like, as soon as I start my own thing, I'm gonna, like, tweet everybody that, like, is famous and be like, hey, will you say something about this? And as soon as one person bites, just one person, I'm gonna put it, oh, look what Michael Cutlass said. It's the greatest thing. You know, I'll lie and cheat and make it big. That's how I'm gonna get famous.
I still want to steal the Stay Alive production. Because you know they don't give a shit.
Yeah, they don't use that. It would
just be so funny.
Yeah, they don't use it.
Yeah.
Favorite scenes. Let's do some favorite scenes.
Favorite scenes. I've got two.
The beginning and the end
are very solid parts of the film. I love the morgue scene, just because that was the scene from the tape that I watched 100 billion times over, and it's a good scene where it's something you wish not to see. And
right.
Like, yeah, so he fucking takes the guy's eyes away. That's a really cool scene. Actually, the beginning of the film, there's one shot there's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
There's like all this really
amazing stuff.
There's like all this really cool practical effects work going on that they just like pan over really quick.
Like they don't even pay any attention to. They're just like, look at all this cool stuff. It's all
gone. This cool shit. Boom.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Go back.
But there's the dude who's like screaming and he's on the ground and then his skeleton pops like out of his skin and like splits his forehead and gets up and then the fucking skeleton walks around. That was neater than shit.
That's how Army of Darkness started.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. The K&B guys worked on Army of Darkness.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure they did.
They worked on everything. I really think they did.
They had to. I mean, except for like the Evil Ash right? Evil Ash turns into the bone guy? Yeah, because he gets burned or whatever.
Yeah, yep.
But like a lot of them were like the really shoddy like
it was stop motion.
Stop motion.
Low budget stop motion.
But I mean like Evil Ash, I'm sure that was them. And then
this one was probably that skeleton.
The evil witch in the well and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they had to have had something to do with it.
That skeleton in this film was probably stop motion when it turned into a full skeleton.
Yeah, as soon as it was you could tell against the screen.
It was just bigger budget.
On the way out, though.
Very well done.
Very well done. Very well done.
That had to be like some reverse shot.
Oh, okay. Yeah, as they like sat it up and then slowly put it down and covered it up with the...
Yeah. It would be like, I don't know.
Who knows? I don't know.
That's not a full scene. That's like a moment in the beginning that I really like.
3 seconds long.
But it's cool because it sticks out and that's good shit. But for like full on scene, I gotta go with the morgue scene.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. That
is so funny because you're talking about the morgue scene because that was part of the VHS. That was like what you saw. That's what got you into it. I wrote down the morgue scene. And then after the movie, we're messaging each other and you're like, check out these clips.
And that's the one.
Like, I don't know why. That's just, it's weird that we both chose the morgue scene for different reasons.
Yeah, that's cool.
I wrote it down just because Discount Carrot Top walks in and like all the dead bodies, even their legs are like cut open and everything's just hanging out. There's like a dozen dead bodies there.
Yeah.
So that's like just the ambiance of the scene. And then you see the Jinn over and he's cutting off his face and stuff and do you wish not to see this? Yeah. And then, and then it just I don't know, that's amazing. I don't know. But I don't know, I like all the wishes. I kind of like This is on IMDb and everything. It's listed as like a fantasy horror,
I suppose.
dark comedy, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the Djinn is a very cynical asshole.
It's got that. They were going for that Freddy Krueger dark humor.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I laughed
Absolutely.
at points in this film. I thought it was...
I wish to stay beautiful forever. And then she turns into a fucking mannequin? That's hilarious.
Or the part where he's talking to Tony Todd and he's like, do you wish to escape?
Yes.
And then as he's he puts him in the straight jacket in the clear box and he's like, Houdini did it.
In 2.5 minutes. Yeah.
Which, how the fuck would he know who Harry Houdini is? He's been in that jewel for thousands of years or whatever. So.
Right.
But that was still a funny.
Yeah.
It was a funny
exactly.
one-liner.
Yeah.
It maybe the criticism I would have of the film is it relied a little too heavily on everyone he meets
Wishing for something.
Yeah. Like, people don't talk like that.
Which is weird, though.
If someone came up to you and did that shit, you'd be like, fuck off.
But, like, I don't know. You didn't have to say you wish. Because, like,
they were trying
the diamond guy. Do you wish this was 100 times more valuable? Yeah. All you have to do is kind of comply with, or maybe the idea.
Essentially, he's trying to trick people into making a wish without them actually... It's not Aladdin.
And
a genie, I wish.
And they talk about that stuff. Yeah. Forget Robin Williams.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's the stupid references and pop culture stuff and the dark comedy. It all comes together. And when I think about Wishmaster, I just remember horror, gore. I remember like the balls. We haven't talked about balls in a while. The ball at the end, and then I don't remember like this dark comedy.
Yeah.
I don't remember the cynicalism. Is that a word? Cynicism? Cynical something. Whatever.
Copyright.
Whatever the ism.
Copyright. Shut up. I like this.
Whatever it is for cynical ism.
Cynicism.
Cynicism. Yes. There we go. See, we got there. All right. Oh man, that was rough. But yeah, I think what's his name? Andrew Devov.
I can't pronounce his last name, but sure, I'm terrible with
something
last
like
names.
He carries a whole lot of charisma as the Djinn.
He is really cool.
Really good. It's like completely over the top and crazy, but at the same time, it's like amazing.
That's what makes it enjoyable.
It's awesome.
It should be.
Yes.
It should be. This is a throwback to, like, 80s horror.
Very much.
I think so.
Which is funny, because like we said at the beginning, like it seems like 89, 90, like it feels like it should be in that era, and it's fucking 97.
I really thought this was like 93.
Yeah!
This is 97?
Yeah.
This is later than what I...
Yeah, that's the first thing I wrote down. I was like, you gotta be shitting me.
They tried to do a throwback film. They tried to have fun. There was a lot of... 97 was a point where we're coming into a lot of digital effects work. They tried to do a lot of practical effects.
Oh, for sure.
It was a time where horror movies were trying to be more centered, like we said at the start of the podcast, around humans. You had the House on Haunting Hill and I Know What You Did Last Summer and all of those types of films that were coming out. And so this is a throwback to a monster movie. It tried to be that dark comedy when movies were they're trying to be, Silence of the Lambs. We're trying to be more serious.
Right.
Whatever. And I really fucking like it because it's a throwback film to a genre that I love, and they don't make movies. They don't make horror movies like Wishmaster anymore. It's just gone.
It's funny.
They don't exist.
It's funny that, we talk about Freddy and we talk about Jason and these... the classic horror movies, Hellraiser. It's funny that we say monster movie. When was the last time you heard them refer to as monster movies?
You really don't. Like, monster movies now, I think, get not lumped in, that was a bad way to phrase that. But,
Pacific Rim.
Or like, like the Universal monster movies.
Right.
Like, when you say, like, name a monster movie, you would say, like,
Dracula.
Or Frankenstein.
Werewolf Man.
Or The Invisible Man.
Yeah, exactly.
Monster movies. Or then, later, like the Godzilla. That stuff as well, too.
Very early cinema, though.
I don't know. I always considered Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Pinhead.
It's like a monster movie.
Those are monster movies.
I don't know. It's just funny. I don't think that you hear them referred to as monster movies a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. But like you said, though, this is a monster movie, and they don't do that anymore.
They're still out there a little bit, but they're few and far in between.
But even stuff like Victor Crowley.
Victor Crowley, yeah.
It's close.
Like Hatchet is probably the closest.
So like a Jason or a Michael Myers.
What are the other popular horror films that have come out that I really love? Like Purge. I love the Purge films, but that's like people.
Wrong Turn. Those are kind of like the Victor Crowley. What's the they get?
But even like Rob Zombie with like The Devil's Rejects is like,
right.
Well, the first one, House of a Thousand Corpses,
was very much monster, supernatural.
A bit more, with like Dr. Satan and the weird.
Yes.
Dr. Satan. I love that scene.
Satan. Yes.
I love that fucking film.
Yes. I was just thinking of one. I thought it was done really well. It had like Pyro from X-Men 2. I'm trying to think of who else was in it, but The Hills Have Eyes. I thought that was a really good remake. And there was something else about that time that was pretty similar, but I feel like we kind of had the horror remake renaissance, like in the early mid 2000s.
Yeah.
With like Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder. And then, like, Hills Have Eyes. And then we had, like, these, like, Hatchet and Wrong Turn and all those start coming out. And I feel like within the last couple of... I don't know. It's probably been 5 years. You know, now we're getting stuff like Ouija.
Yeah.
And Truth or Dare. Unfriended. Like...
Hey, Unfriended is actually good.
I don't know. They're very similar. You know what I mean? Like, they're all... young teenagers with kind of a ridiculous plot centered around now, a board game or social media or something.
I know.
And I kind of get lost. I kind of stray away from it.
I don't particularly get into movies like Ouija, and even though I liked Unfriended, I know what you mean. That one's not my top choice of what I would want to see for a horror film. I have hope. I read an article on Bloody Disgusting. It was some studio executive that said that they're no longer interested in doing big budget remakes of Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street.
Thank God.
I know. And it's because they're seeing movies like A Quiet Place.
Oh, I want to see that so bad.
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my God, we should go tonight.
We totally should. I would totally go tonight if you want to go.
I have to work.
Oh, fucking Colin sick.
Tomorrow night.
I'm good tomorrow. Let's go tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, Quiet Place.
But,
Caitlin won't go with me. I've been wanting to go.
I got your back, Joe.
I wanted to go this weekend, but she's like, I'm not fucking going to that. I'm like... Please!
Yeah.
She's like, let's go see Cock Blockers. I'm like, no!
But the good part about that movie coming out with such a low budget and doing gangbusters and being an original piece of material is that this has more studios supposedly interested in pursuing original content. And when you pursue original content, you can get different styles of horror again instead of just being... Unfriended and Ouija and that kind of bullshit.
Right.
I'm excited for that.
I just can't get enough of John Krasinski. John Krasinski. Fucking see, I never watched The Office. I don't know Jim.
That's amazing.
I know 13 Hours, Secret War, or whatever it was, Secret Warriors, Soldiers of Benghazi, whatever it was, or maybe it was Zero Dark 30. No, that was Chris Pratt. Maybe he was in that too. But
maybe he was in everything.
I don't know, but and then I heard that he was going to be Captain America, and so when that came out around 2010, I started. Okay, let's find out some more about John Krasinski.
He's married to Emily Blunt.
Yes, that's amazing.
This gives me nerd goosebumps when I think about this. They want to play Reed Richards and Sue Storm in a Fantastic Four reboot together, and then someone did a Photoshop of John with the
The little
like the
gray
Mr.
and-
Fantastic,
yeah.
like gray and like the suit and shit, and like
Amazing, I'm sure.
fucking Marvel do this.
Oh my god.
This looks so good.
I can't get enough of John Krasinski. He
Oh
makes
my
me
God.
excited.
Him
I
and-
love that.
Can you imagine him and Emily Blunt?
I fucking love Emily Blunt.
Ah.
Oh my god. Everything that she's in. Sicario, one of the best movies I've seen in like the last decade.
Yeah.
Sicario. Oh my god. Emily Blunt. I'm so excited for Mary Poppins. Oh my god. Like if it was anybody else, but I'm like, Emily Blunt, you say?
Sure.
Yes.
Sign me up for that one.
I'll fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Dick Van Dyke has a cameo in it. I'm gonna go see it.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's like 92
I
or
thought
something.
Dick Van Dyke was dead.
No. And Julie Andrews is supposed to have a cameo. This is taking a weird turn. We're talking about Wishmaster, now we're on Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins, y'all.
But real fast, like Julie Andrews was gonna do like a cameo and stuff with Dick Van Dyke, but she said, you know what? I'm really excited to see Emily's take on it. It's her show. Let her be Mary, and I'll do my own thing. Oh, it's really cool that she like supports Emily Blunt. Yeah, take over the reins. You're great.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I just want to see fucking Julie Andrews make a cameo.
Sure.
And then the other night with the kids, we're watching Despicable Me 3. Right? It's on Netflix now. It's funny though. Trey Parker is a bad guy, and he sounds just like Randy Marsh. But
Now I want to watch Despicable Me 3.
He has a little robot named Clyde.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. All I could think was like, fuck you, Clyde. But Julie Andrews is the voice of what's his face's mom, Gru's mom.
Yeah.
And it was just weird. Like I get lost in like this John Krasinski, Emily Blunt, Julie Andrews. I was just lost.
So
in,
you
like,
can
this
tell
little...
we're actually movie fans. Is because
Oh my god! I
know you.
I got caught up.
Fall down. Can I rein this back to Wishmaster here
Yes,
for a minute?
please bring the saddle on. Bring it back in.
I wanted to talk about how much I loved the cameos of horror movie icons in this film. Robert Englund, Kane Hodder, Tony Todd. If you don't know those names, you probably shouldn't be listening to this podcast. And then there was Ted Raimi. That was Sam Raimi's brother. Squashed by the crate at the beginning of the film.
Amazing.
And then the opening narrator, I'm not sure if you've seen Phantasm.
Yeah.
See the movie Phantasm?
Yes.
That's the tall man, Angus Scrimm.
Right, yeah.
Is the narrator at the very beginning of the film.
I was reading that on trivia, and then I was like, Phantasm. And then I went through IMDb, and then I got lost again. I was like,
Phantasm.
oh my god, I've fucking seen this before. And I had no idea.
Oh, I love Phantasm so much.
No
so
idea.
speaking of this being a love letter to like horror 80s, give those character actors work because they're good. I didn't write it down, but Robert Englund, he's got a limited role in the film, but he is good. I want to see Robert Englund in fucking like Quentin Tarantino should cast Robert Englund in one of his films, give him some chops and give him a scenery that he can chew it up and show how good of an actor he is outside of Freddy Krueger.
I think that'd be alright.
I don't think people realize how good Robert Englund is.
That's the same thing with the Tony Todd. Like when I was younger, I had no idea who Candyman was. I didn't know who Tony Todd was. And then I started getting older and I started watching more movies and he's in the fucking Crow.
Oh yeah.
And he's in this and he's in that. And it's like, he's fucking Candyman?
Tony Todd is in a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Like Tony Todd, like you and I could make a movie and get Tony Todd in it.
I would totally do that.
Because there was this movie. Are you familiar with the Scarecrow franchise? It's got
Jeepers Creepers.
No. I mean the Scarecrow.
No,
it's got like fucking like Ken Shamrock, the UFC fighter,
really?
is in the first one. It's terrible. There was like 3 of them. The second one was like straight to DVD. I think they were all straight to DVD.
Oh, no way.
It's like awful. It's like below something that you and I would do quality. Fucking Tony Todd is in it for some reason.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
You should look it up on YouTube just to see how awful it is and like why are you in this? Because they paid him.
I'll give him a hot meal.
Yeah.
Give you a hot meal. You can come hang out with me for the night, and we'll take it from there.
Did you like the scene where Tony Todd was talking to the Jinn where they were talking back and forth to one another because they both got that really they both got that really deep, unique way of speaking.
No, yeah, I was because I wanted a screenshot of Kane Hodder, Tony Todd, Robert Englund to put behind us and stuff, and so like I was trying to get the shot of Tony Todd, and during that conversation, it was really frustrating because they were like, it wasn't a total close up. But it was just like, just this was cut off, and just below here was cut off, and it was like a really weird.
And then I feel
the way that they were boxed in.
And then I feel like the more they were talking, they kept getting closer
and
closer.
I was like,
until
what the hell's going on?
Until finally they're like this close to one another at the end of the scene.
I don't know. I just thought it was like really. It was framed kind of weird and kind of. I don't know. Like I was trying to listen, but at the same time, I'm like, what is happening? I don't know. It was. I don't know. It was strange.
Am I allowed to say I did not understand the Kane Hodder death?
What do you mean?
Okay, so he says, he's like, I love the part where he tells him to go away. And so
why don't you just go away?
And then he has to.
Right.
Which was really neat. And then he's like, you'd have to get through. No. So like he crosses his arms and he's like, you'd have to get through me first.
And I'd love to see you try.
And I'd love to see you try. And so I thought, like, oh, he's gonna, like...
jump through a Matrix style?
Burst through his chest, like, explode him out or whatever. Probably the worst effect of the movie.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
Explain to me what happened. There's, like, the bars behind him, and then he goes, like...
It was glass. It was a glass door. He stepped outside of the door...
Was it a glass?
Yeah, it was the glass door, and he stepped outside, and he's like, you need to go, and then he turns away and walks away, and then he crosses his arms, and he's standing in front of the doors, and so you have to go through me, and then he puts him into the glass pane of the doors.
Okay.
And then I wanted to just see, like, him open the door, and then him get, like, ripped apart. But instead, he opens the door, or he goes through the door.
Through the door, but then it doesn't break until he goes through
it, and then it shatters everywhere.
That was terribly confusing. I didn't.
It was like you said, it was the worst effect there because the glass. It was very like early 3D, CG. Like it just looks silly, like you would see in like one of those early 3D movies.
I don't know. It was like they had just got done watching Terminator 2.
Oh, yeah.
A scene where he walks through the bars, and they're like, "That's really cool. We should do a scene like that." Only they fucking failed.
I wanted to mention this. As You Wish.
It's cool. It's
okay.
A cool line.
Everybody that I've ever said that around. Oh, Princess Bride.
Oh,
As You Wish. When he talks to Princess Lady.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought of As You Wish as being associated with Wishmaster, not Princess Bride. I don't know. So
as is the life of a horror movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So I wrote that down because every time Caitlin asks me to do something, I say, As You Wish. Like, it's creepy. And she's like, oh, thank you, Captain Dread Robert, or whatever it is. Like, no, I'm Wishmaster. God damn it. I don't know. Whatever.
Harry Manfredini did the score. That was the Friday the 13th composer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe that was a trivia fact that you have.
No. There's like 5 pieces of trivia.
Yeah.
There's like nothing.
We've probably given more trivia in this podcast than what's on IMDb for it.
Right.
But again, calling back to being like a love letter to 80s horror, you get the Friday the 13th composer to do it.
Yeah.
That's neat stuff.
No, I didn't write anything down about the score, but the horrible 90s music. Like when he gets into his car, Josh gets into his car and he's blaring whatever it is. And then, like at the end with Motorhead.
It had Motorhead at the end of it, which you can't. If you say anything bad about Motorhead, I will take this mic off and walk away now.
But, I looked up those music tracks and it was
What the fuck was it? Anyone you'd ever heard of other than Motorhead?
No. No. I don't know if I even wrote it down because I was just like, I'm not even going to bother with that. But then I found it on YouTube and I started listening to some of it. Because usually I'm a big fan of these music soundtracks.
Yeah.
And then I got nothing from Wishmaster. I mean, nothing. There was
what was it? I had to look up the title really quick. What was it with, like, 90s horror films and just using horrible soundtracks?
Because it was cheap.
Halloween 6. Yeah. Used And Fools Shine On by Brother Kane during the end credits. I don't know if you remember that song, or someone out there knows what I'm talking about on Halloween 6.
Somebody might.
It's like some weird fucking, like, why would they use that?
Because it was cheap.
It's kind of a cool song. That's why I remember it.
Oh, I don't know.
I have it on my computer at home. But
I just assumed because it was cheap.
Probably.
I don't know why else they would use it.
I don't know. That's just an odd period of time for music choices.
It
really was.
I don't know. But like I said, I think maybe they just got it on like freesound.com or something.
Yeah.
Just because it's cheap.
I like the Manfredini score, particularly at the beginning of the film with opening narration. I thought that was really, really a neat soundtrack.
At the beginning, I always forget. It happens every movie. I'm like, what the fuck? I always think a movie opens with like the second scene, and so like I completely forgot about the Persia scene.
Yeah, me too.
I just remember it opening on the dock. Mm-hmm. But holy shit, I was really glad with the Persia scene. Like the dude that's like in the snake, he like turns into a snake and shit, and then we saw the skeleton guy. We saw a whole bunch of cool shit in that little glimpse, and I wanted more of that. Mm-hmm. And then you kind of get more of it like at the end at Beaumont's party and stuff. Mm-hmm. But like we said earlier, it just glosses over all those effects kind of quickly.
Kind of cool that they do that. I mean, I don't know. It's very from dusk till dawn. Like, you know, they go inside the bar for the first time.
Right.
All that shit's going on, and you just kind of like pan over it. Yeah. It just gives you like a taste.
I don't know.
Because sometimes when you hang on an effect too long, you can tell it's an effect. But if you just kind of like, you just kind of go from point A to point B, and
I guess
I liked it. You kind of had to explain to me.
Oh, here. Go ahead. I wrote it down so I don't mess it up.
Okay, you kind of had to explain to me a little bit. I was like, I really like this movie. Why was he so dead set on killing low rent Sarah Connor?
Discount Sarah Connor.
Discount Sarah Connor, because
there was a lot of discount people in this movie.
Yeah.
The bum was a discount Nick Nolte.
He reminded me, remember the bum from Back to the Future?
He is the bum from Back to the Future.
What, he was the fucking bum from Back to the Future?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And then
so that dude got like typecast as a fucking bum.
No, that's what he does. Like he's in all the movies, he's like drifter, bum, alley guy. He's always
the same fucking guy.
It's the same guy.
That's amazing, because I watched this. I'm like, that looks like the guy from the bum from Back to the Future. Crazy drunk.
Where he like looks at his bottle.
Crazy drunk drivers. That was fucking him. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just made your day.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No. Okay. So yeah. So he was. This is kind of weird. Okay. So first, he has to gather souls by granting them wishes. So the bum, mannequin lady, the eye guy, the diamond store guy, whatever, the auctioneer, whatever, and the cop. And then once you see it at the end where he like takes the soul and he collects all of them and they die. So he has to collect their souls into the stone. And then he has to get 3 wishes from whoever woke him to open the door between realms. So this is what we talked about. So the person who woke him, because I talked about like the sweater tit rub, maybe that's what did it, or the moist hot breath, or whatever it was. But she was considered the person who woke him. I don't know why the guy who like dropped it and broke it didn't wake him. He slept through that.
Yeah, he's a heavy sleeper.
Yeah,
he's been out
very heavy sleeper. But once the tit rub comes along, he's like, "You woke me."
Did someone say titties? And I woke him up.
so he granted all those wishes, and then he gathers the souls into the stone, and then now it's like all juiced up. Now to open the realm, the person who woke him, discount Sarah Connor, has to get 3 wishes granted.
Sure.
And then that opens the door.
The doorway.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on.
Yeah. The realm from Outworld to Earth is mine.
Have we done Mortal Kombat?
No, oh my gosh,
Why have we not done Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat's on Netflix right now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I've watched it on Netflix.
I love Robin Shou. Robin Shou's fucking good.
Yeah.
And then you see him in like Death Race, and you see him pop up everywhere else, and Lyndon Ashby. See, I know all these dumb actors from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, I will stand by. I think Mortal Kombat is the best video game.
Bridget Wilson. So hot. Want to touch the hiney.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
I love Johnny Cage in that film.
Yeah, Lyndon Ashby.
Yeah, he's just cool.
I think he's great. Pisses me off about the second one though.
Yeah.
Then he's like, okay, bye guys. I'm gonna do my super kick and die. No, it's. You know. I'm excited. I hope the rumors about the James Wan one. I don't know. This was a year or two ago that I saw the rumors about James Wan doing a Mortal Kombat reboot. I did a whole article about it. And by the way, so I wrote this article. It was a fan cast for Mortal Kombat.
No, yeah, you told me.
Yeah, and on the IMDb trivia for this Mortal Kombat reboot, my fan cast is the trivia. The rumored cast in the trivia. Yeah. And I was like, are you shitting me? Because I actually had an issue when I wrote it. Somebody plagiarized it, copied it. And so I had to go through all that. And the next thing I know, it's on trivia. Like, what the fuck?
That's why we always say when we read trivia. Like,
exactly.
Take this with a grain of sand.
Yeah, exactly. A grain of salt.
Grain of salt. Yeah, anyone can add.
Yeah. So every time we say rumored, you can take my fan cast and it's on fucking trivia. So, how do we get here?
I don't know.
I don't remember. Maker's Mark, whiskey. Maker's Mark is featured prominently in this film.
What's that? I don't know what that's from.
It's just a whiskey.
Oh.
It's pretty good whiskey.
Oh, I didn't know if it was like a reference.
Oh, I know. It's just.
Okay.
No, it's just a good whiskey.
Yeah.
Maker's Mark. I think it was 2 or 3 times in this movie.
Huh.
It's got like the red wax on it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I just saw it a couple times. I have some quotes that I wrote down. I want to share with you. I have quite a few quotes that I thought were great, so I'm just going to read these out of context. Does the word dumbass mean anything to you? I like that. Mm-hmm. You know why you missed? Okay, when she's talking to her basketball girls about stillness, which kind of is how she wins at the end, which I think is dumb as fuck.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. But she's like, do you know why you missed? And out loud, I'm sitting there, I'm like, 'cause you suck! I wanted her to say that.
For a minute, I thought the movie was turning into Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
When I went to that I don't remember this basketball court bullshit.
When he's sitting in the stands, though, holy shit. He's good. Like that little bit where he's just like, can I borrow your phone? Thank you. And then he goes
handy
through
little devices, aren't they?
Yeah, and then he's just like sitting there with it kind of on his ear. I don't know. Just the little nuances that he does, I think are really good.
The movie is very like pre 9/11 because folks, you can't walk around undercover in a fucking trench coat pulled up over your head in a college campus like what he did at the beginning of it no more. Like different time, different place when you go back and watch this.
When he's talking to the bum, he's like, go tell your friends something that feeds on wishes. I just thought that was funny. Something that feeds on wishes. I talked about, do you wish you were beautiful forever? And then two more quotes from Andrew Devov. I wish you would blow your brains out. And then he shoots himself and he's like, that's which immortal cannot die. But if any consolation to you, that hurt like hell.
I thought that was a good point.
It's a very good Freddy moment, I think.
Yeah.
And then towards the end, too, I don't remember what part this was at, but he's just like, all right then, fuck it. Just,
yeah.
I don't know.
I think that was the only F-bomb in the film.
I think she said it once. Oh, no, I did write down the other one.
Was there one more?
She picks up the phone when it's ringing. He's like, you have one more wish. She's like, fuck you. And just hangs up. So I think maybe those two.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You mentioned the phone. Do you think Scream was 96, this was 97. Were they influenced already?
Absolutely.
By his voice?
For sure.
Was very fucking Scream.
Very.
And there was that shot where the phone rings, and it totally does, like the phone rings, and does like the quick, quick pan into it.
And then
I don't know.
Jumps and freaks
I wondered
out.
if they were influenced, like, already that close after that film came out.
I'm sure.
You're already seeing it creeping over into...
Oh, yeah,
into other
definitely.
films.
Like you said, this is very much a love letter from all different horror movies.
But it's also Wes Craven produced.
Right.
So maybe he was...
Oh, it's his own fucking thing, so it's not like he can get in trouble for it.
Maybe he was like, hey...
Ooh, I copied my own idea.
Maybe he was like, hey, you guys should do this because the character's got a cool sounding voice and it would be fun. Just do it.
I had something to say about that, and then I completely did that again. See, this is what I mean. I have a terrible memory.
Yeah.
Did you get Tony Todd's name in the movie?
Something Valentine. Wasn't it?
What's your name? Valentine. Johnny Valentine. I thought that was amazing. I wanted him to go, I am an FBI agent. Johnny Valentine. Not Johnny Utah, but
they were
Johnny
giving him a
Valentine.
pretty big introduction. Maybe there was meant to be
more
a spin-off.
Johnny Valentine, Gin Hunter.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would with Tony Todd. I would probably watch that. Can we kickstart that?
And Andrew Devov and Tony Todd, please come make a spin-off with us.
They would.
Why not?
We could raise the money.
There's got to be a very niche audience that would be totally into that, right?
Yeah.
Right, guys? Yeah. I don't know. I would do it. So we talked about the beginning and stuff, and like the Persia. I forgot. I see the second one's also very prominent. I think it's very much looked upon. The second one, the sequel. Because there's like 4 sequels.
Yeah, I was
as soon as they get rid of Andrew Devov, it's kind of shit.
I was thinking, could you tell me a goddamn thing about anything past the second?
No, because I thought the second was the beginning of this one, because I remember the burglars sneaking in and then they break the statue and then it falls out. That's the first thing I thought of. But I'm like, oh shit, now I have to watch 2.
Well, I have the disc.
So do I, somewhere.
Oh shit, sorry, I'm sneezing.
On the disc, on the DVD cover, the cover art for the first one.
Yeah.
Did you ever play Vampire the Masquerade? Very similar. Very similar. You could take very interchangeable. You could take the image of that vampire and this djinn and swap them. It's very close. I immediately thought of that. It's very, even the art style is very similar.
I want to torture myself and go back and watch 3 and 4.
I want to watch 2.
or 2, or any of them for that matter, because
2 I remember.
My God, talking about movies that I don't remember. And does anybody remember Wishmaster 4?
No.
I
remember 2.
What the hell is 4 even about?
I wonder who did...
Can you pull up IMDb?
Who did the genie? Because the djinn, after 2, isn't Andrew Devov anymore. It's somebody else.
Why wouldn't they get, like...
What are we talking about? Wishmaster?
Yeah, just Wishmaster 4. See, what the hell the plot of that movie is?
The prophecy fulfilled.
Like 2002?
2002? I wonder who's the...
Are you sure that's not him?
No, it's not. He quit after the second one.
Why would he quit? What the hell else does he have going on?
Yeah, this is John Novak. John Novak plays the djinn in Wishmaster 4, and he's known for... he's in Legends, The Fall, War... Oh, he's in SG-1. And he's still doing movies.
What's the plot? Can you go back and tell me what the plot?
Oh, wait, he's in Legends of Tomorrow?
That's cool.
He's the sheriff in Legends of Tomorrow. I want Brandon Routh to go up to him and be like, hey, remember when you were the djinn? This time, the djinn unleashes his undying love for a beautiful woman in his final attempt to unleash his brethren from hell.
So what? Is there anyone in this movie that anybody recognizes?
Oh, not that I see. It looks like the main girl is Tara Spencer Nairn.
What the hell is that?
She is known for...
nothing you've ever heard of.
Yeah.
She's known for fucking Wishmaster 4.
Well, what about...
How about 3?
Yeah, what about 3? Wishmaster.
When did that one come out?
01. So they like just push these things out.
Straight to DVD that shit. Franchise that shit, Jeff.
The evil Jinn is back at it again. This time wreaking havoc on the students of Illinois Baxter University.
Okay.
Who's the Jinn in this one?
John
Novak. Same guy.
I thought that said Jim Carrey. Well, what's that Jason...
Huh. Aaron Smolinski. He sounds familiar. Aaron Smolinski. Yeah, he's in fucking Man of Steel. Cool. He's the communication... That's the Superman baby.
Oh,
Aaron Smolinski. He was baby Clark Kent in Superman. And then now they bring him back for... He was in Returns. He was in Man of Steel. He's in fucking Wishmaster 3.
The high point of his career.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's crazy. Wow, okay. Things you learned.
What was?
AJ Cook. So, this is becoming a really interesting episode.
Yeah. Where we read IMDb on camera.
How do you guys like it? Just for shits and giggles.
It's so weird because this is a franchise that... You get into these later sequels. There is not a person out there who is like, oh my god, and you've got to see Wishmaster 3. It's so fucking good. Like, nobody has that opinion.
See, Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. It's a sequel. The evil Jinn is awakened once more and must collect 1,001 souls to begin the apocalypse.
Boy, they really went for it with that one.
And that's where it saw Andrew Devov. And then, the burglars break in. Here we go. The evil Jinn is awakened by a female thief, Morgana, during a botched robbery. He takes credit for the crime, letting himself be put into prison so that he can offer twisted wishes to prisoners in return for their souls. If Morgana asks him for 3 wishes, then his race, the Jinn, can take over Earth, killing all humanity.
Yeah, I remember that.
See, I want to... Yeah.
It's actually not a bad setup.
No, not at all. This was directed by Jack Shoulder. Renegades, The Hidden, Arachnid. He did fucking Arachnid. And then Wishmaster 2. Mortal Kombat Conquest. Really?
Cool.
Oh shit. So there's some IMDb shit.
What is it with like some of these series that just immediately go off the rails? Like the sequel to Wishmaster 2 is probably fine. Like if you
I remember liking it.
If you like the first, you'll probably like the second. But then what is it with them just immediately fucking everything up?
Money? I mean, you can turn with these horror movies. It goes with any horror movie. You can turn $2 million into $25 million, easy. Yeah, easy. And then you get a sequel, and maybe you get less money. You still turn more because people are excited about a sequel, and they bring back Andrew Devov as the Jinn. Yeah, more people are going to go see it because they like the first one. You can spend less money, make more money. And then you can just use that, make shitty spin-off, sequels, trilogy, whatever you want. Interchange it.
Straight to DVD, that shit.
Exactly. Yeah. It's very much something we could do. We could take $1,000. We can make, this, put a unique spin on this, ancient myth of a story like a Jinn. Or, take something crazy. Make a feature length. Make 10,000. And then take that 10. Okay, we're only going to spend 500 this time because we already have some of these pieces from leftover. It's very much the same with animation. You make an animated film. Let's take Toy Story for instance. I'm getting on. Wow, I'm rolling now. You take Toy Story, and it took years because they had to build this world. They had to create all the characters, and then they go to make a sequel. Well, you don't have to spend as much money or as much time because that world that you built is sitting on a hard drive and cell block C back there. So you just plug it in. You need a new short. Maybe Tim wrote a script. Bring that in. Okay, let's get our voice actors. Pay them. That's it. Sure. That's a sequel. You already have the world that you built.
Wouldn't it be fun? Wouldn't it be fun to take
Tangent over.
to take a series that no one gives a shit about? No one gives a shit about the Wishmaster franchise at this point. Wouldn't it be fun to take that and just do something with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you said, like you and I, like
yeah, definitely. We could.
Fuck, like,
I mean, that fucking rubber latex shit you get in a bottle. You just get a mask. You paint that on your face. You got this rubber mask.
yeah.
You paint it. Put some makeup around your eyes. You got a fucking genie. You just wear a big robe. You wouldn't have to do the big armor. That big armor plating shit that he wore, I thought was really cool when he's not wearing his robe.
Oh, yeah, and he had, like, the tentacles that came around his
neck, right.
too.
And then, like, he had that big chest piece and shit I thought was really cool. But, yeah, you could definitely do something like that. You'd have to look at, like, the rights and copyright, stuff like that. But
yeah.
that's very much something somebody could do. And I'm sure if you kickstarted it, you know, hey, we want to do our own low-budget Wishmaster film. This is our idea. There's a niche out there somewhere. There's a fan page on Facebook with 4,000 people. Each one of them gives you $1.
Uh-huh.
There's $4,000 to make this low-budget feature. Wow, I'm rearing to go. Let's do it. I haven't been this excited in a while. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... To answer your question, why do they go off the rails on these trilogies and stuff? It's just because you can spend less money and still make the same, if not more, back. So
that's just funny when they just immediately fuck up a franchise.
Maybe we'll have to watch it.
Oh, I'm going to. I don't think I own 3 or 4.
I know.
I really don't.
I don't know. I like I said, I remember having that, probably the same case you have.
Yeah.
Where it's not top and bottom, but it's like split down the middle.
Yep, that's the one that I've got.
Yeah. Because a lot of they'll split it like this way, so you can do
like 2 cover arts.
Yeah, but they have like really thin,
weird.
narrow. Yeah. Very Wishmastery. Yeah,
it's got those
I don't know. I think
stupid disc where you can never tell
which side
you're supposed to put up, and I always put the wrong side up.
Very
The worst is the From Dusk Till Dawn, the 2-disc DVD set.
Okay.
When the fucking feature-length film is on disc 2.
That's weird.
Yeah, because when I went to watch it for the episode that we recorded, I'm like, oh, I put in disc 1. Disc 1 is the special features. Like, god damn it!
That's hilarious.
Disc
That's
2
awesome.
is... Who puts disc 2
I don't know.
as the movie?
I don't know. Not me.
That's stupid shit.
Checking over to see if I have anything else I wanted to talk about. Those basketball girls are old enough to tie their own fucking shoes.
Yeah.
She goes out in the corner and starts tying this 13-year-old shoes. I'm like, excuse me.
Damn kids these days.
Okay, the early transformation off of Josh with the very Hellraiser Frank scene, I thought very well done. Very well done.
Very good stuff.
Let's see what else I got. What do you think about the statues?
Oh, those were good.
I
thought they were
those
convincing.
Kind of creep me out.
Yeah, it was difficult to tell that was like a person.
I thought it was funny because towards the end when he's standing there and he's got all of them behind him and they're standing there and this guy with the mask and the bow is like a statue and then you got this bronze guy over here and he's like shaking.
Yeah.
Like I imagine like the shield and shit he was carrying was like heavy as fuck and he's like, how come that dude just gets a bow and I gotta hold this shit? It
was good effects work, especially because now you just CG that shit.
Excuse me, yeah, definitely.
But I don't know, it was just neat. It was convincing, I thought.
Kind of one last thing that I had. That old lady that she goes to talk to about it, the white-haired lady.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know. She looked like a customer that I have at work, which is not helpful for anyone other than me.
It was probably her.
It's probably her.
Like, hey, what'd you do in '97?
Oh, I was in this movie called Wishmaster.
Get the fuck out!
Whoa, no fucking way.
No, she looked familiar, and I couldn't...
Who was she? She's cool.
Her name was Jenny O'Hara.
She in anything? Did you look at that?
No.
We've done enough IMDb. We won't subject you to that. But
no, she looked really familiar, and I couldn't put my finger on it. So I'm gonna have to go down a rabbit hole with that. I don't know. it looked like something. And I like,
yeah, I know.
The whole time, my brain's like freaking out. I couldn't put it together. Yeah. You, do our final thoughts, and then we'll pick out our one thing that we thought they did really well in the film and all that. So,
okay.
You got final thoughts you want to start off?
Basically, the same thoughts that I've had throughout the episode is that it's a fun throwback film to 80s horror. It's a love letter to an era that I think everyone really loves. That era of horror movies. And so this is an attempt to honor that with putting in actors Robert Englund and Kane Hodder and Tony Todd, and it's a throwback to practical effects and monster movies and all of that good stuff. And I like it and I respect it for doing that, because that's neat. Because if I was in a position, I've always said this, if I was in a position like Rob Zombie or whatever, he does this too. He takes all the cool actors that he used to love from films, or Tarantino, whatever, and he puts them in his shit. And this is what I do. Like, if I make a movie, yeah, I want Robert Englund, and yeah, I want Kane Hodder, and put them in that because they're fucking cool. Why would you not do that? That's fucking cool.
Tarantino with Fred Williamson and Tom Savini. Fuck yeah, I'm gonna pick them.
Rob Zombie, Michael Berryman. He puts
exactly. Oh my god,
that's just like neat shit.
And real quick, when we're talking about Rob Zombie, when he did the remake of Halloween, really short, they're at the truck stop and they go into the bathroom and he kills that guy, the truck driver. He was, I can't remember his name right.
You just put me on the spot, Jeff.
Yeah, he was somebody special too. It's just like
Ken Forty?
Yeah, he was in Devil's Rejects too.
Dawn of the Dead.
Yes. Yeah, he was also with Berryman. He was in Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my god. See, yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. Yeah. I love that.
And even in that little part where he's in a bathroom stall. Yeah. But he turns around and you're like, holy shit. And then he gets killed, but...
See, I mark out for that shit. Because I'm a horror movie fan. I'm a horror movie fan. And that's why I think that shit like this is so cool. Because that's what I would do. I would make Wishmaster.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Final thoughts, I would say, is... copy and paste. It's just, it's a love letter. Mm-hmm. And you got a very charismatic actor playing the Djinn with Andrew Duvall. Mm-hmm. And just fucking if you, for whatever reason, you haven't seen it, or you haven't watched the sequel, I think the sequel, if I remember correctly, I think the sequel is pretty damn good. And it's still got Andrew Duvall as the Djinn.
The only thing I remembered about the sequel is that I think it had more CG.
Oh, I'm sure.
That didn't age as well, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know, it's been so long since I've seen it, I can't really speak for two.
Right. Yeah, I don't, I would just say, if you're a fan of horror, mm-hmm. this has everything you're looking for. It's, excuse me, it's got the cheese, it's got the gore, it's got the references and cameos and kind of that over the top kind of, it's the monster movies of the 80s, mm-hmm. essentially, in 97.
Yeah.
It's something that we don't get anymore. And it's something be really cool if they brought it back. That being said, I think maybe it is very much a product of its time, before internet, before cell phones, because you go back to these monster movies, if they had a fucking cell phone in the woods with Jason chasing them, it would be game over.
That's why you got to do a period piece for all. You have to set them all in the 80s now.
I think we talked about this, though. Maybe when we're talking about Hellraiser or something, you could very much... You don't have to do it now. Make a monster movie, make it set in the 70s, mm-hmm. make it set in the 80s, early 90s. Early 90s would be fucking cool. They're walking around with their CD players and Walkmans, and they got the boom boxes and their fucking windbreakers mm-hmm. and starter caps. And
it's fun, too, because a lot of these franchises came out, like Friday the 13th was really popular in the 80s. And so you do a new one that's a throwback to the 80s, or doing a throwback to the period when the movies came out. I don't know, that's just like a fun little circle of life that...
Speaking of that, me and the woman finally conformed. I was showing you we bought that disc set of Stranger Things.
Yeah.
And we just made it through season 1. Got that done.
You like it?
I really enjoy. I did not fucking know. Everybody always talks about the kids.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know Winona Ryder was in it.
Oh, yeah.
Matthew Modine.
Yeah.
I didn't know he was in it. That sold me right there. I'm like, it's Sergeant Joker or Private Joker. Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait till you get to 2, Sean Austin.
Oh, for fuck.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right? You're behind the curve on this one, but
Yeah,
I'm glad that you're finally sitting down and watching
Well,
it.
it's a pain in the ass because we have to wait till the kids fall asleep, and then we have to make sure we're still awake enough to watch it.
Yeah.
And no, I really enjoyed the first season. I'm really happy I finally got to watch it.
Mhm.
And seeing fucking David Harbour.
Oh,
So good. So fucking good.
as bummed as I am that Ron Perlman isn't going to be Hellboy in the new Hellboy film.
Yeah, I'm.
David Harbour.
I was sold on him before, just from his little bit parts in different movies and stuff. I'm like, I like that guy. Stranger Things has me fucking sold.
Yeah.
I
watched
fucking kills it.
I watched Black Mass the other day, the one with Johnny Depp.
Oh, yeah?
And really good. And David Harbour is
Really?
in that one. He's got a small bit part in it.
Man,
He's just a good, solid actor and shit.
He's good.
He'll chew some scenery as Hellboy.
I think he'll be good.
I hope people don't shit all over that just because it's not Ron Perlman.
Right.
Like, I know Ron Perlman really wanted to do a part 3, but Del Toro was just too busy. Too many projects that he's working on, and that just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. So, what's one thing that you think that they did really well?
We kind of hit at home. Practical effects. Still looks really well. It's aged really well in that regard. I like seeing them on display because you don't see them a lot in new films. Even like Walking Dead, which is like, oh my god, we do practical effects. I feel like glosses over all of that, and they don't show it enough, and then you just end up seeing this CG shit on Walking Dead.
A lot of blood splatter.
Instead, and you're like, oh, I can tell that's fake. I don't know, I'm just a big fan of the practical effect work.
I would say just Andrew Duvall.
Yeah, that's a good choice too.
He kind of makes the movie as the Djinn. If you want that over-the-top, charismatic villain,
Very
monster.
Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Dark humor, stuff like that. Yeah. And I think that's why the sequel maybe does so well. And then, they kind of get away from it with the third and the fourth is because they don't have him. And so I think that's a big thing. Let's do some trivia and stuff, and we'll Rotten Tomatoes and close this out.
Okay, sounds good.
There's not a lot of trivia. I mean, what we talked about, we could have probably filled out more trivia.
We probably should.
But some trivia I have is it took 3.5 hours for Andrew Duvall to get into costume. It's a lot of makeup, a lot of prosthetics. Somebody broke onto the set and stole a camera while filming, and it actually made news. Like it was on the local news and stuff. This one I thought was kind of like the biggest piece of trivia. I thought was really cool. Is one of the statues in Beaumont's collection is of I don't know how to say it, Pazuzu from The Exorcist.
Oh yeah,
that was one of the statues in the collection. I didn't even notice that.
Pazuzu is the name of the demon from The Exorcist. I have a really cool customer at work who collects old books and like creepy artifacts and shit.
Oh, good.
She has a Pazuzu statue, like in The Exorcist.
No, thank you.
Yeah, she's neat shit. She had a coffin for a while too. Like
no.
Her cats used to,
no.
It was in her bedroom, and her cats used to sleep in it.
No.
Yeah.
I'm out with that. And then, obviously, I mean, we've talked about this a lot. It features numerous horror film legends.
Yes. So I went through on the DVD. This was old enough to have the production notes category on there because basically IMDb trivia. And so I thought that this one you should read out because that's a good one.
Production notes. When first seen in the film, the Djinn is an embryonic stage as it returns to a renewed life. To accomplish this effect, to To accomplish this effect, the production team enlisted Vern Troyer, aka Mini
Mini-Me.
one of the smallest men in the world who stands only 28 inches tall.
Yeah.
Right. They actually, yeah, I saw they had him. They had another one for like that middle stage, and then Andrew DeVog.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, they had like 3 different actors play the Djinn, and yeah, Vern Troyer, the creepy
cool.
motherfucker crawling towards me.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Vern Troyer.
Uh-huh.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
Um,
He does creep me out.
so there's some trivia. Rotten Tomatoes. This is pretty embarrassing, actually. The critic score is 24%, and the audience score is still only 38%.
38%. Fuck
half.
those people.
So
It's like, this is a good movie.
So I mean that's about right. I mean, probably 4 out of 10 people, 3 out of 10 people, somewhere in there. Like these horror. That's the niche audience where these horror film watchers and lovers
And that's okay.
come in. So
why do I feel like this
fine.
movie has a bigger cult following than what we realize?
Because we don't hear about it. I'm sure if we went on Facebook right now and typed in Wishmaster fan group,
There's gotta be like an official Wishmaster Twitter fan profile or some shit. I'm gonna look this up now because there has to be.
Before we get out of here, though, I had a question I wanted to ask you. Is because of, we get a lot of remakes and stuff. So if there was a remake, who do you think would be a good Djinn? I haven't thought about this at all.
Oh, I haven't put any thought into this.
So I have no idea who would be a good evil Djinn.
Offhand, I don't really... I almost say you want to go the unknown route.
Yeah.
For this one.
I have no idea.
Wouldn't you think? Because if you've got someone that you're going to cover in makeup for half the film.
Yeah, I think it's more about the voice than anything.
The voice?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a good question.
If you had anybody in your head.
No, not offhand for that.
I don't.
Pierce Brosnan. There we go.
Doing his accent.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is your wish? I can't do it. Whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
Pauly Shore. Pauly Shore as Wishmaster. Just dressed as Pauly Shore. That'd be terrible.
All right.
That's why I'm not in charge of anything.
Well.
Ideas like that.
Do you got anything you want to talk about? Say, plug, do all that? Nothing? Nothing.
Like the show, like the podcast.
Thanks.
On Facebook and Twitter. You do good giveaways. My friend Adam was talking about that on my football podcast.
Oh, really?
We plugged shit at the end of it the other day, too. And so he follows all your stuff, all of our stuff. And yeah, he thinks that's really cool.
Awesome.
The giveawaws and shit that you do. And
very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get a lot of traction with that. A lot of people like free shit. Who would have known?
Yeah.
Who would have known people like free stuff?
Great mystery in life.
Yeah. Just PantheonNetwork.com. Go there. It's got all the videos, all the audio files. Make sure you follow us, like you were talking about. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Keep an eye out for those mystery boxes we do. I think we've done 3 or 4 now, and yeah, we get pretty good traction. Usually, we just ask you to share or like or follow,
subscribe or something.
Yeah, do something like that. It takes a click, and then you get free shit. So I would just say do that, and then subscribe to us on YouTube. That would mean a lot to us. I don't know that I have much else. Look out for the movie trivia movie trivia show.
Definitely.
That's going to be a lot of fun. We got 5 episodes. Looking forward to that. And then after I get that going, I've got some original content that I'm working on. So we're going to be having that and just kind of building our own little empire. We'll get some original stuff, get the trivia show. We'll have this every week.
I really think it would be fun to do kind of that roundtable discussion about something. Awesome. Even if we kind of go outside of what we normally do and pick like a big movie like Infinity War or something.
Yeah.
That would be fun. Or even what if we did like I'm just spitballing ideas, but what if we took like a franchise that we really like and got some people together who are big fans.
Just like a marathon.
And yeah, just like spitball and talk about like, oh yeah, this is why we love The Matrix. Or this is why we love Friday the 13th or something. Like, that could be fun.
Yeah, for sure. I think the hardest part is just getting everybody in the
together.
Same room.
Yeah.
Like with the trivia show. I had 2 episodes lined up, and then, we got hit with a snowstorm, and 2 people live out of town, 2 people live down the block. It's like, well, shit.
And then, work and kids and all that shit. But...
all sorts of stuff. But yeah, thank you for coming on. Wishmaster. A lot of fun talking about
what
Wishmaster.
What is your wish?
I wish it was warmer.
Your wish is granted.
Yeah, he'd probably
and then you're just like on fire.
Right, yeah. Get locked in like an oven or something.
Oh, you see, you could write a script. Oh, you just sold me, Jeff.
Get locked in like a sun tanning booth. Or a sauna. Ooh, that would suck.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would wish for arbitrary shit. Like what
did I say last night? Chip dip.
Chip dip.
I wish for chip dip.
I would wish for something that didn't have anything to do with me. Just to fuck with him. Be like, I wish that Tim Tebow was the starting quarterback for the New England Patriots.
Well, then he'd have like Tom Brady die.
You're right. Well,
somebody get traded, and then he'd have. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be fucked up.
Yeah,
but for
like
sure.
The Patriots would all die in a plane crash or something. Like I don't know.
Tebow. All right. Yeah, I think that's all for Wishmaster. Next week we are doing.
Beyond Skyline.
Beyond Skyline. We've talked about it 7 times, and I keep forgetting. Beyond Skyline, and then the other horror film.
I'm gonna make you watch The Ugly.
Yeah, The Ugly. So we're gonna do that.
I think you'll like that.
I'm sure I will. So thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to subscribe, like, share, follow, slap my butt, do all that good stuff.
What?
And I love it. And yeah, stay tuned. Watch out for mystery boxes. And thank you again for listening. Love you. And